I've already showed how to the introduction to this K-tail knitter. It's basically a crochet slash knitting tool. It's basically a craft of its own. It's got all kinds of stitches that you can do with it. And I'm going to be doing the simplicity stitch. So I will attach when I get done with this video, my introduction to this video showing how you needle the bottom of it and go up to this here, create your slip knot. So I've already done the basics. So basically I'm going to just show how to do a couple rows of stitching, how to turn it, and then showing this I've already done. I literally cut a little hole and you cut in between the rows. See this line here and then this line here? So you cut in between if you're going to make a cut, in which I did. So that's the cool thing about it. You know, you can cut armholes, you can cut holes for ponchos, or just, buttonholes. Use your imagination. So there are many stitches. This is from 1964 when this one was patented. I believe it was released in 1966. It was marketed. So I'm going to do, maybe 3 or 4 rows just to demonstrate how to turn this. So I start with your loop about so, and I have this set at right about 1/2 inch. And so I keep my finger down like that to kind of keep it from going back in. And then I'm going to grab this side, which is my left. It's probably mirrored looking at the camera, which would be, so you grab this here and you pull up. See how I released at the bottom? See how much I have right here? That's going to make the consistency of your stitch. And this stopper helps guide down so that you don't push down anymore. So then I'm going to go over. Ta-da! See where the stopper stops me from going down any further to help get consistency with the stitch, and pull up. See how I push this down with this finger? And then you can do this to kind of keep it from going in and out, to keep it right there at that length. Then I push over, pull up, hold that after I've got my length that I want, push it down, pull that a little bit, pull up, hold it, push down, let it go. And see how I keep my thumb in it, pull it down just a little bit. And once you'll get the hang of it, keeping the consistency in your chain, because that's going to determine how well your piece or panel it is that you're going to be, crocheting. I don't know if to call this knitting or crocheting, because really it looks more like a crochet stitch when you look at the chain, because um and another thing is to keep the chain from twisting as well. I'm going to show you this chain up close. So that looks like a crochet chain. You've got your dash and then your V, see? So I don't know why they call it a knitting tool, but there's so many different stitches. There's similarities to both craft actually. See, just make sure your stitches when you pull the same each time. See? Okay, so now I'm going to show how to turn. I think that's enough chain. I'm just going to demonstrate. Hi, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I'm going to demonstrate how to turn. And see, currently this is on my left, but when you turn, okay, you want your work on the right. So once you create a stitch, it'll be on your left, and the part that hasn't been worked yet will be on the right. So not to cause any confusion there. So and make a stitch. Where'd my stitch go? Oh, there it is. All right, make a stitch and then turn. Okay, so now bottom, top. But you want to make sure that you don't go in the one where your stitch is in. So you will go to the next one, which would be this one. Remember, keep the same consistency, just like as you were with the chain. Push over and up you go. Go to the next stitch, push down, over, and pull up. And you just do that for however many that you want in your panel. Just go through the top stitch. That's the simplicity stitch. Push over, pull up, push over, pull up, push over, pull up, push over, pull up, and I'm at the end of my row. So I'm going to pull that out just so I can stop for a minute. Now, that's that's just that simple. So here's a piece, okay? And so I think this was 4 rows, 3 or 4 rows. And so as you can see this line here? See this line? And then this line. So if you want to cut, say, a buttonhole, you would cut in between here, which is what I did. Deep, 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 deep. How cool is that? But you can get books on how to use this tool. Um, there is another one that came out. This was patented in 1964. Oh, there was another one that was basically a copycat of this called the Grant. And it's basically the same thing. It's just a little bit different. Looks a little bit different, but it's exactly the same thing. I guess her patent ran out, and so then other companies started picking it up. And then there's another one that's a modern one called the Easy Looper, and it's a little bit different, but it's the same concept. And so as far as getting your hands on one of these, there's not that many out there, but there are some. You just have to look, and but you can get probably the more modern one called Easy Looper. And I've seen one lady, she actually made her own, like homemade. But as far as the instruction books, there's many stitches, just like crochet. There's lots and lots of stitches, like knitting. There's lots and lots of stitches. Well, there's a lot of stitches just for this tool. And so learning all those stitches would be, something you'd have to like invest in a pattern book, because there's no tutorials on YouTube. I found like maybe 2 people that made videos about this tool. And so at any rate, I'm going to demonstrate cutting this. Uh, and I was gonna do more, but I'm having so much pain in my head. Like, I have this sharp, sharp pain in my head. It's the nerve in my neck. So I'm just gonna have to just make this short. I'm sorry. I'll do more of this later, but, this is the general idea. I mean, this is a simplicity stitch. It's the only stitch that I know, and I literally just learned how to do this. It's not that hard. So, but the cool thing I want people to see is, like, if you cut in between these 2 rows. So I'm gonna cut now, when you cut, you'll have some little straggles that you have to pull out, but you cut in between the rows, just like that. I just made a little cut, and then you pull these little stragglers out, right? And, then you just pull them out. That's just the pieces that you cut, basically. And then you have this buttonhole. You have this buttonhole. Any little stragglers, just pull it out. Ta-da! Now I have 2 little buttonholes. Ain't that cute? Can't see my face. It's weird. Hi. About that. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go to bed. It's late. It's like almost midnight here. You all have a good one. I will see you soon. Check out my videos, okay?